A chilling video has emerged from Northern Ireland, sending shockwaves through the political landscape and raising fears of a return to a darker time. Police have launched a major investigation after a newly formed group, calling itself the New Republican Movement, issued direct threats against elected officials. The video, which has been circulating widely online, features 3 individuals masked in balaclavas. 2 of them are seen holding what appear to be firearms, while the third reads a prepared statement. Positioned behind them is an Irish flag, a potent symbol in the complex political history of the region. The message delivered is deeply disturbing. The speaker claims that the group has been actively monitoring the movements of councillors and members of the Legislative Assembly, or MLAs, specifically within the Newry, Mourne, and Down district. In a direct and menacing tone, the man asserts that they have obtained the home addresses of these political representatives. He then declares them to be legitimate targets, a phrase loaded with historical weight and violent connotations from the era of the Troubles. This declaration marks a significant and dangerous escalation, moving from political opposition to direct, personal threats of violence against individuals and their families. It's an explicit attempt to intimidate and silence those who participate in the democratic process. The response from law enforcement has been swift and firm. Superintendent Lynne Corbett, the district commander for the area, publicly addressed the video and the threats contained within it. She stated that the Police Service of Northern Ireland, or PSNI, is actively working to identify the individuals responsible for creating and distributing the video. Superintendent Corbett condemned the act in no uncertain terms, calling it completely unacceptable. She emphasized that no one, especially those serving the public in a democratically elected capacity, should ever have to face such threats and intimidation. She further reassured the public and elected officials that the police will continue to engage closely with local representatives. Her promise was clear. The PSNI will do everything in its power to ensure politicians feel supported and safe, and to guarantee they can perform their duties free from the fear of violence. This is not just about protecting individuals. It's about safeguarding the very foundations of democratic governance in the region. Political leaders from across the spectrum have united in their condemnation of the threats. Dare Hughes, a Sinn Féin member of Parliament for Newry and Armagh, described the threats as sinister. He powerfully articulated that this act is not just an attack on politicians, but an assault on democracy itself. He pointed out that every elected member holds a mandate given to them by the public, and these faceless thugs, as he called them, are attempting to undermine that mandate. Hughes made it crystal clear that these individuals represent no one and that their attempts at intimidation will fail. He vowed that he and his party colleagues would not be deterred from their work of representing their constituents. His message was one of defiance, refusing to allow threats of violence to disrupt the political process and the will of the people. This sentiment was echoed by Ian Tennyson, the deputy leader of the Alliance Party. He described the video as vile and reprehensible, stating unequivocally that such threats have absolutely no place in modern society. Tennyson extended his solidarity to every single councillor and MLA who was targeted. He also broadened the scope of the attack, highlighting that this wasn't just an assault on politicians. In his view, it was an attack on the public who elected them, a direct challenge to the democratic choices made by the community. His words underscore a crucial point. When you threaten an elected representative, you are threatening the voice of the people they represent. This is a fundamental violation of the principles that underpin any free and fair society. The emergence of the New Republican Movement raises unsettling questions about the current political climate in Northern Ireland. The region has made incredible strides since the Good Friday Agreement of 1998, which largely brought an end to decades of violent conflict. However, the peace process has always been fragile, and dissident Republican groups who reject the peace agreement have remained a persistent, albeit small, threat. These groups oppose the power-sharing government at Stornowth and the legitimacy of the PSNI, and they continue to advocate for a united Ireland through violent means. The name New Republican Movement suggests a deliberate attempt to position this group within that dissident tradition, perhaps seeking to attract new recruits or signal a new phase of activity. It's important to understand the context in which this is happening. Political tensions in Northern Ireland have been heightened in recent years, particularly following Brexit and the implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol. These issues have reignited debates about identity, sovereignty, and the border with the Republic of Ireland. While mainstream political parties are committed to navigating these challenges through peaceful and democratic means, there is always a danger that extremist elements will try to exploit these tensions for their own violent agendas. The act of threatening politicians is a classic tactic of such groups. It's designed to create fear, destabilize political institutions, and drive a wedge between communities. It seeks to replace democratic debate with the rule of the gun. The universal condemnation from all major political parties is a crucial and positive sign. It shows that despite deep political disagreements on many issues, there is a unified front against the use of violence and intimidation. This cross-community solidarity sends a powerful message that the democratic process will be defended and that those who seek to drag Northern Ireland back to the violence of the past will not succeed. The security services will now be working intensively to gather intelligence on this new group, assess the level of threat they pose, and bring the individuals in the video to justice. Their investigation will be critical in preventing these threats from escalating into actual violence. For the politicians and their families living under this threat, this is an incredibly stressful and frightening time. They are public servants who have put themselves forward to represent their communities, and they are now being targeted for simply doing their job. The support they receive from the police, their political colleagues, and the wider community is vital. This incident is a stark reminder of the courage it takes to participate in public life, particularly in a post-conflict society. It is also a reminder for everyone of the importance of vigilance and the collective responsibility to reject all forms of political violence. The peace in Northern Ireland was hard-won and must never be taken for granted. Acts like this are a test of that peace, and the response from society will determine its strength and resilience. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing for more updates on this and other important issues.